your breaking news and weather authority. This is 13 Wham News at 10 on FOX Rochester.
At first, I didn't realize who it was. I was pure shock and disappointment with our school.
A local college rocked by allegations that they mishandled a sexual assault case. The Geneva campus of Hobart and William Smith Colleges in the spotlight tonight, but it's not for its academics. Good evening. I'm Alexis Arnold. The story of one student's decision to come forward was highlighted on the front page of the New York Times today. Just weeks into her freshman year, Anna, who has agreed to reveal her first name, says she was sexually assaulted by several members of the school's football team. What happened next after she came forward is shedding light on campus policies on sexual assaults. 13 Wham's Jennifer Lee was on campus earlier today and joins us now with reaction from students.
Alexis, students I spoke with were in disbelief and shock. They say their school never gets this level of attention.
Mortified. Front page of the New York Times was a big shocker for such a small school like this in upstate New York.
Kyla Feary, a junior at Hobart and William Smith Colleges, says she knew fellow classmate Anna. The two danced together on campus last fall.
She was quiet. She was shy. She was a good dancer. And she was sweet. I didn't know her very well. She didn't have a big outgoing personality at the time. I don't know if that was because of this happening, you know?
Because according to the New York Times, Anna was allegedly the victim of rape just weeks into her freshman year in the fall of 2012. The article goes on to list shortcomings of the college from Anna's hearing, like misinformation to panelists.
To hear your school being slandered on a national stage, that's difficult, but I understand that changes need to be made.
The article says the assailants were football players, members of the fraternity Kappa Sigma. The young men were cleared by the college after a 12-day investigation, something Allison Burrows, a senior at the college, is still trying to comprehend.
They're very stand-up guys. I was kind of shocked because I've just never felt unsafe, you know, going to any of the fraternities and hanging out with the brothers there.
The victim, Anna, told the New York Times she was threatened and bullied after the incident. She even took a break from school for a semester, but she plans on returning this fall.
I feel that she's very brave to be coming back. You know, I think her face to be back on this campus, I hope that she's treated with full respect and given support for everything that's happened.
Hobart and William Smith Colleges did say in response to the article, quote, the colleges disagree with the reporter's interpretation of events and his portrayal of the colleges, its students, and its processes. The college says they cooperated fully with the newspaper and reporter and felt they were unfairly portrayed. You can read more about the college's response on our website, 13wham.com. Alexis?
All right, Jennifer, thanks. And that story has sparked a whirlwind of comments on our social media pages. Many of you weighed in. Here's what some of you had to say. Laura says the article was eye-opening, and she hopes parents in college-age and college-bound kids read this with their sons and daughters. Crystal told us she doesn't agree with how it was handled, but she says maybe the victim shouldn't get that, quote, intoxicated. Sue says has words of encouragement for the victim. She said she's a strong person and will make a good leader and advocate for others. Of course, you can weigh in on our Facebook page at 13 Wham. We also reached out to Safe Harbors of the Finger Lakes. The group helps women that have been sexually assaulted, and their office is located just blocks away from Hobart's. Safe Harbors works closely with the school but couldn't comment on this particular case. But a spokesperson did tell us they hope Anna's story encourages others to speak out.
I think if young women are going to report something, the best thing they can do is make sure they have an advocate there with them. Make sure they have somebody there that can stand up for them and make sure they know what their rights are.
And more on this story on our page, 13wham.com. And now an update to a police investigation on Sterling Street in Rochester. Police telling us this incident has been resolved. Sterling Street is back open. This is what the scene looked like just a few hours ago. Police were investigating a dispute inside this home. They believed hazardous materials were inside, and upon investigation, they didn't find anything dangerous. The suspect is in custody. He's being charged with harassment.
And it was a relatively quiet late evening here in western New York, but down to the southeast, our neighbors down towards Elmira, Binghamton area, it was a much different story. Local storm reports that came in. This was right on the border of Yates County, Schuyler County, and I'm going to circle that for you right here, including the south tip of Seneca Lake there near Watkins Glen. And what they had down there earlier today, according to the National Weather Service office in Binghamton, is a possible tornado damage to a structure there. They had some state troopers on the scene around 4:45 this afternoon. Also in that same thunderstorm cell to the southeast from there, a funnel cloud reported in Broome County. This was at about 6:50, about 2 hours later, in a very strong thunderstorm cell that is now obviously racing off to the southeast. So there's the group of storms that produced that damage from earlier southeast of Rochester. Those storms continue to move away, thankfully. Back here in western New York, it's a quieter scenario. We've got a couple of light showers off to the west that are trying to sneak in, but we don't think that those little showers right there have what it takes to kind of stay together. The Futurecast shows western counties, maybe a quick shower here across western New York in general, but for the most part, it should stay dry through the overnight with another chance for a brief shower, maybe south and southeast of Rochester again through tomorrow afternoon. So humid night, 65 by the morning, mostly sunny skies initially. I think by midday we'll find that shower threat increasing down to the south, 73 degrees with breaks of sun, and pushing 80 through the afternoon with a thunder shower possible southeast. We'll see when we get much cooler and drier in western New York coming up.
All right, Mark, thanks. A quiet neighborhood in Rochester interrupted by gunfire earlier today. Police say a man is in stable condition after apparently being shot on Locust Street around 9:30 this morning. Police didn't find the victim there, but did eventually find him after he was involved in a car accident on Lake and Lexington Avenues. A neighbor says this is the first time she's heard gunshots in that area in more than a dozen years.
I thought it was firecrackers. My husband told me to go back inside. They're shooting.
Now, police are still looking for suspects. The other driver involved in that car accident suffered minor injuries. A fatal wrong-way accident killed one person and injured more than a dozen others. Police say that a car and Greyhound bus collided on an Indiana highway. The car was stolen and headed the wrong way down an interstate. The driver of the car is dead. On the bus, 19 people were hurt, mostly with minor injuries. The bus driver was airlifted to a nearby hospital. New tonight, a benefit concert in Penyan. Hundreds of people stopped by to hear Stone Soul Foundation. According to a spokesperson, that concert raised thousands of dollars, and that money will go to victims of storm damage. Not the most ideal conditions for the final day of the Cornhill Arts Festival. The annual city event was swamped from the rain, but still managed to attract quite a crowd. Organizers tell us they tried not to get bummed out, especially after a gorgeous Saturday.
It's a little drenched, a little wet, and I feel really bad for the vendors, but Jane and I come every year, and we're come back every year no matter sun or rain. We're still here to enjoy the Cornhill.
Unfortunately, we got a little bit of dampness today, but we've all experienced it before. And we're just thankful for the folks that are out here today to come out and gut it out through this tough weather.
And that festival wrapped up earlier today. Coming up next, what has a Geneseo neighborhood on edge? Plus, unapologetic what a former radio host is now saying about comments he tweeted, and why this guy was in the right place at the right time.